Right, welcome back everybody to the Cuddles and Cribs cloth diaper update. If you remember 3 weeks ago, I got hold of some of these because they said it was good for capillary action for soaking up water, and I wanted to get something to help me raise my seeds in the polytunnel where it gets hot, and I didn't want them to dry out during the day when I'm not here, because this gets up to, what was it today, 39 degrees, and the seeds are mainly sown on the south side, so it gets a lot of sunlight, and I didn't want them to dry out. So I did an experiment. If you didn't see that video, I'll link it in the description. It's a bit of a laugh. We had food colouring and all sorts of things going on, and I said I'd go away and figure out a way to use them practically. And I've got 4 different ways to use these. Well, three using these, and 1 using some string, which I got hold of. What I'll do, I'll just go through what I've done, and you can see what I've done, and then at the end I'll go through a bit more detail of what I used, how much it was, blah 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 blah. Right, so let's get on with it. In the first instance, what we've done is seed tray with holes in, cut a slit in the end, folded our nappy into about 4, half it hanging out. We made these little carriers just so the tray can drain any excess water, and all I did was put the nappy in there like that, as Jethro would say. Put it underneath and sit it in like that. And in this case we have got small modules with lettuces in, and all I did was plant the lettuces, plop these on top, watered them, and all I've had to do since then is just top up this lower tray. The capillary actions worked, kept this moist, kept them moist, boom. Right, that's that way. The other way I did direct sowing. Direct sowing, these are rocket sown on the 4th of July, and all that, and some spinach. Some are sown with vermiculite on top, some with compost on top. Same thing, tray, slit in the end, nappy in, water, carriers, boom, just to see if direct sown would give me any issues. And this, brilliant. You can see it's all germinated, it's wet on top, been sat in the sun. Right, started off in my seed area, it's got a bit of shade netting, but I thought I'd leave it outside today just to see, and it just works brilliantly and takes up hardly any space. You've got 2 trays, but yeah, if you're going away or whatever, brilliant. All you need to do is send somebody in just to fill the bottom tray up. Now the 4th way, I got a bit excited about all this capillary action, is with these. We've got some red cabbage, and we've got some broccoli that should be planted on, but I left them like this for this video. And what I've done with these is use capillary string. Never heard of such stuff. Well, all I've done, had a bit of string, tied a knot in it, pulled it through the bottom of the pot, dropped in my compost, dropped in my seed, boom, self-watering. I haven't touched it. These are a little bit drier, but then they're a 9cm pot, really tall. But they're growing. They've all germinated, and all I've done is water the bottom in the gravel tray. So that's the 3rd way. We'll pop up to the other end of the polytunnel up there, where I've got my shade netting in the area where I bring on my seeds, and we'll look at something that, this is such a cool name, Jim, no, not Jim Stormcrow, he's cool as well, mind. Sorry, Jim, super cool. No, what's the other chap called? Geronimo Mod. Geronimo Mod had a good idea, so let's go and look at his suggestion and how I've done it. Right, and this is the fourth way. This was suggested by, what was he called? Geronimo Mod. How cool is that? And what we've done here is I've got a double tray gravel tray on a board just so it's level. His suggestion, which was bloody brilliant, is we've got a bit of guttering. I'll block the ends up. Like I say, at the end I'll go through all the stuff I use to do this, just with water in it, and then the nappy just draped in that. So all you got to do is make sure that's always got water in it, and this lot here stays water. Now, just for trial and error and just trying things, in this side I bought some of the, I think it's Elixir matting, some of their matting, and it worked quite well, but to be honest, not as good as me 80p Cuddles and Cribs diapers. What I'll do, I'll just take these trays out, because to be honest, these are finished in here. They'd all been fine. The only water in these, what are they? They're Sugar Snap peas I've had, it's been putting it in that bit of guttering behind, and fantastic. And I've now got some dwarf French beans, and they'll be going in place of these two. So what I'll do, I'll take these two off, and you can just see how wet it is underneath there, and then we'll just place those back on. Hang on a minute, won't be a sec. Right, so that's taken the cell trays off, and now you can see what's happening. The diaper, in this case, in the water over bottom of the perforated seed tray, and some compost on top, and look at that. Ha! And I mean, and this tunnel got up to 40 degrees today. I know this is in the shaded area. I'll put a bit of shade netting up for the seed starting, but it just keeps the tops of the trays just moist, even though it's so damp. This one's, yeah, see, running. Brilliant. Keeps it, oh, it's just, I can't get over how well this works. And thanks to who suggested it. I mean, Geronimo Mod, brilliant. And of course, any of the other trays can be used by just dunking it in there rather than having one tray on top of the other. So now all I've got to do is put those cell trays on top of these trays, and I'm going to worry about them again as long as there's water in there. Bloody genius, isn't it? Thanks for that idea, Matt. Beauty. Right, so that's the 4 ways I've done it. If you've seen it and figured it out, you can realise there's just umpteen different ways you can do it and how you can utilise it and all the rest of it. But for anybody who wants to see what I've done, this part of the video we'll just go through what I've done and how it worked. For the one above the other self-watering trays, you'll need a gravel tray with no holes, a seed tray with holes in, and I've cut a little slit at one end just to put the nappy through. One of our Cuddles and Cribs cloth diapers, and what I like about these particular ones is they wick really well and they're quite thin. Then we'll need something to keep this tray raised above that tray, so we've got a water reservoir underneath. And what I've done is made this shape, a little carrier out of, this is 4mm garden wire with the green coating, so it's quite thick, so it is quite tough to cut. All right, and the size for a tray is 27 centimeters, and all you got to do is cut your bit of string, bit of green wire, 27 centimeters. Take a pair of pliers, bend it 90 degrees away from you, and then 90 degrees back towards you. Turn it around, keep it in the same plane, not a helicopter. 90 degrees away, 90 degrees back, and that gives you that shape. Lovely jubbly. So then you put, I think I put 3 or 4 in the others, but I reckon you get away with 2. Then that sits in there. Then that tray can sit in. It just holds it from sliding around and makes it a lovely contained unit. All right. So that's the base. And then with our cuddles and crib, fold it into 4 lengthways, feed it through the hole, now to be honest, I haven't tested whether or not it would pull it right over the top. I haven't tried that, which it might well do. And then spread out your cloth, and you can either put your compost in and direct sow, or you can put your compost in and put your modules on top. Dunk that in there like that. Rest your seed tray on top. Self-contained watering system. Bloody genius, isn't it? Eh? Come on. But I mean, you can go away and think of loads of different ways of using this. I'm sure you can. So that's how I did those and made them. Pretty straightforward. Happy days. I did try making a former for making those brackets, but that didn't end well. So that's those. Then I'll go on to what we'll do next. Let's do the wicking string ones. Wicking string. That'll be good, won't it? Right, wicking string ones. Here we go. For this, you need some wicking cord, and you need to wrap it up better than I have, so you can find. Here we go. Find an end. This is 6mm. Yeah, 6mm, and it was £6 for 50 feet. 50 feet. What I've done is gone twice the depth of the pot ish. You know, you got to be bloody. Just cut it, tie a knot in it, and I'll be honest, this bit is a bit bloody fiddly because the holes are only 6mm and this is 6mm cord. But if you get it somewhere in the vicinity, it'll pull itself through. Yeah, it's not that bad, look. And then you've got your cord sticking up through, your cord out your bottom, and all you got to do is sit that in your gravel tray. You need something to hold it up. I just use a bit of 2x2 batten, 2x1 batten, and there we go. Self-watering 9mm pot. Great for bringing on your brassicas if you're doing it inside in the polytunnel like me. Right, that's them. What else we got? Oh, the guttering at the top. We'll go and have a little bit of a closer look at that. Right, so here we are back up at the capillary matting in the guttering system. It's in my, oh yeah, let me get back far enough. in the area I use. It's got shade netting around it. And the biggest regret with this tunnel is I didn't set the staging level. I ran with the lie of the ground, but so I've had to raise that board up. So we've got a level tray. So we've got a level tray, gravel tray. And at the end, we have got just a bit of guttering. And I mean, you could make this any length you wanted. I mean, I did this up just to try it, and it worked brilliantly. And this was done in a double gravel tray, a seed tray with holes in, sat in. To be honest, I don't think I needed the seed tray underneath it. This could have just sat in this one gravel tray. But why didn't I do that? Why did I put that second tray? Oh yeah, I was going to do it so that this tray, it was quite a tight fit when I put it in, and I thought it would sit up so excess water drained away, but it didn't. But I mean, you could put a couple of bits of bamboo or something there, or I found you didn't actually need to do it. So this tray could literally just be a gravel tray. And all I've done with this system is folded up my nappy in there, in the bottom, about an inch or so of compost on top, watered it, got it all set up, and it's just kept flowing. The gutter in, I just sort of cut to length, blocked up the ends. One end's got a proper gutter fit in. The other end was just a bit of plastic, and so it didn't leak. I sealed the insides with this stuff. CT, what has it got shine on it? Is it Tech CT1? I know what got such there. Why it's got the shine on it, because the sun's setting and it's beautiful and the sun's pouring in. Anyway, if you've got to seal up anything, especially if you want it to hold water, that CT1 is brilliant. And once you've got these trays set up, you can just plonk on your cell trays, whichever you're growing. I can't get over this one. This one's my favourite, I must admit, because it's multi-use. Once you've got one lot of seeds germinated and coming up, you can take them off, bang in another set. Because, like I say, the seeds are in the meshed area. Right, I think I've waffled on enough. Yes, I've definitely waffled on enough. That's it. That's the 4 different ways of using capillary matting, nappies, string, all sorts, just to keep your plants watered, especially in this hot weather. And they all work. That's the bottom line. It all works, especially if you're away for a while. Fantastic. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to go and sit in the sun, enjoy the sunset. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers and go on. See you next time.